Well, this is the second time I've filmed the driving part because I filmed it the other day when I did the video. I don't think I pressed record because there's nothing on my SD card. Fully charged battery once again. I don't know exactly what I said to you guys. The power button's at the back, isn't it? There we go. But look, the tyres are dirty now because they've got the crud from the asphalt, or asphalt, depending where you are in the world. Okay, now what I did work out was that button is your speed change. This button does nothing, and then we just have steering and throttle. 2 speeds, and also I took a photo of this, but there's the everything up and everything down, so it widens. And I'll tell you what I wish also did that. It's a bit dark in here, but what I'd love to see would be the original TRX6 Ultimate Hauler doing that as well. You've got other 6x6s that don't even have that kind of space to get wider, but certainly I wouldn't mind seeing it on the Ultimate Hauler. They never did that. Anyway, let's take this thing for a drive. So we're in first, and there's second. I tell you what, JJRC have been doing some interesting stuff of late, haven't they? This is the C8823. It's a 6-wheel drive flatbed or tray back. And I'm really quite interested to take a look at this thing. It's a neat little package. The radio is quite decent. We've got a 2-speed here and a second channel that's doing nothing currently. Nice wheel feel. It's got a very fly sky feel to it. You get a choice of a Brabus icon or the Mercedes icon to jam on the front. Bunch of plastics all over. It's actually very well detailed. Battery lives in the front. It's a 500 milliamp hour 2S. It's actually quite difficult to open the front, I've found, but at least you know it's not going to fly open on you while you're using the thing. So it just lives in there. It's just a happy little battery, and nicely to see it's a red JST and a balance plug, so it's a standard battery. So you can use other batteries if you like. The 500 fits with a little bit of room to spare, so you might get a 600 in there, depending on the shape and the size of it. And 700 is going to be about the limit. So there's a bit of extra room, but not a lot. There is a bit. Now, there's a power button on the bottom. We've got lights in the rear, and it's a fully featured light set. We've got tail lights, brake, reverse, and indicators. Headlights on the front and indicators up the top here, and also on the side. So it's a fairly well set out little thing. Full interior, no side windows, but windscreen and 2 rear windows. Air conditioning unit on top, snorkel, and all the rest of it. So the plastics are actually quite good, but wait. You want to make it wider? You can make it wider. You want to move these little guys around so that you can change where they sit. There's even room for a little winch now. Look at it. Oh, there's room for a winch. I wonder if they sell that aftermarket. That would be cool. They're 3-wire servos, so you also have a hobby-grade replaceable set of electronics. I mean, the only thing more that you might ask for is that it's fully waterproof, and if it's not, conformal coating could be your friend there, but you would need to buy waterproof servos because they're notoriously difficult to waterproof. The motor will be fine in the water, no worries there. Full sticker sheet, and I've decided not to use it much. We've got a number plate on the back, and I've put like some safety stickers on the side and the rear, but I'm overall pretty happy with it. The one thing I might change is that these tires don't really stay on the wheels too well, so maybe gluing them could be helpful, but otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. You've even got some scale stuff underneath with the fuel tank and a toolbox. The radio gives you steering dual rate and trim, which is nice. You can reverse that as well. There's also a speed switch here. That's probably something like an endpoint. Let's see. Okay, so it's a high and low speed, electronically limited, but then you also actually have a servo here. Yeah, high and low. So we'll play with that on the dirt in a sec. Overall, it's pretty decent. I don't know how strong the steering servo is yet. Oh, okay, so it's nice plasticky. Oh, wow, that's surprisingly strong. I never mind seeing these kind of loose plasticky links. Like, you kind of want things to be soft if the car's not super strong, because things will bend before your more expensive bits breaks. That's not a bad thing at all. It cost, I paid retail for this, I think it cost something like 110 Australian probably like 70 or 80 US. That's going to vary depending where you find it. But certainly you can see the thing around. I'll stick a link down below where you can get the thing. I don't have a driver for it today, but I think we might just give it a little drive. This other button doesn't do anything. I thought it might change the lights, but it doesn't. I'll just show you this last thing. So you got indicators not populated on the side, but there. Spotties aren't populated, but they look like they could be. Driving, brake, reverse. And, oh wow, your second speed's quite high. There's first. Let's get this out on this gravel here and just see what we think of it, eh? Now I'm going to start in second, and one thing I really noticed on my drive, aside from second being plenty fast, was just how much torque this little motor has. And although I haven't got a gravel pit to show you, I found low speed crawling even in second was not a problem. So this little mound of dirt is actually quite steep. And even just taking it slowly up here, like low throttle, in second, no trouble at all. So it's a punchy motor, plenty of torque. I'll pop it back into first and show you again what it's like in first. Basically, you have more control. It can handle first or second on a hill like this, but that's what your first speed is for. And the other thing is too, of course, if you're running in first when you're doing slow stuff, your motor won't get so hot and your battery will last longer. And longer run time is definitely good. It's so nice to be in springtime, finally. The winters feel long around here. Look at it go. An extra axle makes a big difference in so many cases. Oh, something broke. Oh, we broke something then. I don't think it actually broke, it just popped off. Let's see if we can fix it. A metal drive shaft wouldn't have broken, and maybe the motor just would have stalled out. But some will tell you, and I will join them in telling you this, having plastic gives you some options here, because it didn't actually break, it just expanded and then popped off. I'm going to need to thread it back into this first if I'm going to fix this in a lazy way, which I certainly am. Oh, it's out of phase there. When you put a uni back together, you want your joints to be aligned, and you'll have a better time. Oh, we twisted that too. Look at the twist on it. So phase, getting it in phase is no longer possible. I'm just going to get it in somehow. I have to force it out and then pop the pin down into it. There we go. Now you can see this is still twisted. Thankfully, there's enough slack in here that we get away with it, so we're off to the races. I do wonder what kind of drag brake it has actually. The steering is fantastic on this thing, and that's the extra axle saving it from destruction. If this was a four-wheel drive, going forward would be a disaster, but as it is, the extra axle helped. The springs are kind of stiff, but you know, when we put a car on this in a minute, we'll see why that's the case. Now this again would flip a car usually, because that front left wheel would want to disappear into the hole, but having the extra axle on the rear really is a boon for stability. It's not bad, is it? Now, there's not a lot of drag brake, but here I've got a handy ramp. We can have a quick look at drag brake. This isn't a hugely steep ramp. Now we're in first gear here, and it does hold. Pop it into second though, and that won't hold. So drag brake, I guess in second gear you don't really want drag brake anyway, so that's a feature, not a bug, I guess. With this torquey little motor, I've got to be so careful because if I push through like I would with a bigger truck, it's just going to pop that drive shaft again or something else. Can you go to a metal drive shaft? Of course you can. Is that a good idea? It depends what you want from the truck. My ideal scenario is not to break any gears and not to burn any motor or electronics out. But I would prefer, well, that's nice, isn't it? I would prefer to have metal drive shafts, I think, because if the thing can't go, since there's no slipper, all we're going to do is find the motor's stall torque point. I just love the stability of a 6-wheel drive. This is also why your Gladiator style Jeep is more stable than your JLU type Jeep from Axial or from or the similar ones from Cross RC. Any of the longer wheelbase 4-wheel drives, they're generally more stable. Their only weakness is that they'll get hung up in the middle here. They'll belly out. Now, a 6-wheel drive gives you the best of both worlds. You get the length, but you also get a really nice breakover angle because you've got that middle axle. And this is what happens with a pass-through axle. If this wasn't a pass-through axle, you wouldn't see that. What's a pass-through axle? This is a pass-through axle. The drive comes out of the transmission and into this diff, and the little pinion spins the crown gear, and that spins another pinion here. That's pass-through. The other way of doing that, and just because this thing's enormous doesn't mean that's why it had to be done like this. I'm glad they did it like this on a big boy. It's the Cross RC XXL. So there are 2 shafts coming out of the transmission, one into this diff, one through a carrier, and it continues on to the next diff. And in that way, you get a more solid drive system. This is cheaper to make though. And look, for a car like this, it's still functional. Now, we need to put a car on the back of this, don't we? Let's have a look and see what we've got here. I'll pick something that's not too heavy. It's also appropriately sized. Do you know what? I think this little guy is probably a good one. Right, let's get this guy on the back. Now we've got wheel spots here for it, which is great. So that sits just nicely. If we had a wider car, we could pop them out and accommodate that extra width, but we really don't need to. I love that feature. There are some really nice things about this. Now, you would want to strap this in somehow. I'm not really sure if we're going to bother. Let's just see how it sits, shall we? Obviously, it's going to fall off, but I'd like to see how the suspension articulates as we drive. So let's take it for a spin. We're in first gear. I'll tell you what, second will be just fine. Even in thick grass and stuff, it'll be fine. Check it out. She's leaning. Sorry, bees. I'm not wanting for torque at all. It's just making its own path here. So I'm taking it slowly, but the point is, in second, it's no problem. But we're going to go back to first, because that is better on the battery, better on the motor, better on the ESC, and more appropriate, honestly. Now, the amount of leaning that's happening here, you're not going to want to try rock crawling with this, but it is fun. Now speaking of fun and trails, that begs the next question, can you tow? Well, no, there's no towing hitch here. Wouldn't be too hard to make one for it, mind you, but no, it's not set up for towing. Let me just see what the weight balance is of this thing. I almost wonder if it might be better having that on that way around, honestly. Let's see if that's any better. Probably not. No. Now it's been a week since I filmed this original part. Were these adjustable? No. What you could do is put a cable tie around there, even a thick one, on each of them at the back at least, and that'll preload the springs and it might handle weight a bit better. Let's just try some tricky terrain. It's quite an attractive little truck, this. It is fun being a tow truck, eh? Now, there's also the CR18P flatbed, which is a same scale, 1/18 scale, 6-wheel drive. The more expensive model I haven't seen before, the CR-18P 6-wheel drive. It will be better. They make good stuff. However, the value for money with this little thing, my goodness. Again, you could buy 2 of this truck for the one 6-wheel drive CR-18P. If that doesn't scream value to you, I don't know what does. Now, given the torque in this thing, that wasn't the motor doing better, that was me squeezing the throttle. It's still fully capable of top speed here. It's just stability, it's the only thing that's holding me back. I should tie this thing down, shouldn't I? Let's just check radio range. I don't often do that, but in a truck like this with lights, I don't know, it wouldn't hurt to see, would it? Let's see. I've just managed to, there we go. I'll just get somewhere I can see. Let's see how far we get. I'm going to be careful to drive where I can still see the thing. This is further away than you'll ever need, honestly. You know what? That's far enough. Oh, I just flipped the thing. Come on, flip over. Yes, got it back. I'm not going to bother going any further away. This is already way far enough. Like, when will you ever need to go this far away? So it's a decent little radio. How about that? All right, we'll bring him back. We've lost drive to the front. Now the same thing's happened, but on the outdrive. Interesting. So this stuff kind of tangled up a little bit. Well, that's a good case for a metal set of metal drive shafts, isn't it? Interesting. I'll put a link in the description to where you can find one of these, if you're interested. I'm quite a fan of this thing. For the money, I don't think you're going to really do much better, honestly. Look at that. Perfect. That's so perfect. Well, let me know what you think if you like this one. Find a link in the description as well if you want to grab one for yourself. It'll be an affiliate link that supports me, but I'll still, as always, try and get you the best price that I can. And I will thank you so much for watching. I really am quite a fan of this little thing. Thanks for watching, throw me a like, and I'll catch you next time on RC-TNT. Cheers.